If you're an empath that is overwhelmed by your abilities or your hypersensitivity and you want to know how to turn your powers off, then this is what I channeled for you. First off, my name is Stef. I'm the Psychic Soul Empowerment Coach, and this is what my spirit team wanted me to share with you today on this situation. So my spirit guide said that the answer to this was really simple. It had all to do with enmeshment, which I know is a psychology term. What they said to me is that enmeshment is when a person doesn't have a solid sense of self and is intertwined with another or their environment. In a lot of instances, this enmeshment occurs because of trauma. However, there are those people who are born with this certain openness or hypersensitivity that make it so that they're kind of intertwined with their environment or others. Whether you develop this enmeshment from trauma or you were just born with that openness that caused you to be enmeshed, the purpose here is for you to learn how to healthily disconnect from all that is around you. I'm gonna look up the official definition of enmeshment here because, you know, gotta be sure. I googled it and I clicked on the first link, which is from newhavenrtc.com, and the definition is: enmeshment is a description of a relationship between two or more people in which personal boundaries are permeable and unclear. Which is basically what the guys are saying, is that if this is you, if you're an empath that you just feel overwhelmed, overstimulated by everything around you, then it's because your boundaries on the many different levels of your being are not clear. They're like permeable, or they're blurred lines basically, which is why everything is impacting you so strongly. So remember, some people develop this hypersensitivity as a result of trauma and others are born with it. For the ones that develop this as a result of trauma, this was done out of protection because you needed to anticipate the next move, the next reaction, the next situation for your own well-being and safety. So you had to be hyper in tune with your environment and those around you out of a need of survival. The only reason now that you're feeling this sensitivity more strongly now is because it's trying to bring to your awareness the wounds that you have to process in order to shift out of survival at last and come back to your true state. While I was channeling this, I got the feeling that as children, you didn't know how intense or stressful being hyper aware was for you. And so it was all new and stuff, but as you've lived year after year, decade after decade, being in this hyper in tuned open state, it's just kind of piled on you. And as I'm doing this video, it's kind of reminding me of burnout and how when people are in states of prolonged stress, they eventually can reach this burnout point where their body just like gives in. And that's kind of like the state that these empaths are living in, is like burnout. The way to start turning off your empathic abilities and to no longer be overwhelmed is through healing work. Inner work, shadow work, inner child healing, or whatever other modality you use to help you to resolve this past trauma is going to support you in beginning the process of detaching yourself in ways that are needed and to help you to start reclaiming your personal energy and identity, so that over time you'll start seeing that these symptoms will lessen. And yes, before anyone has anything to say about this, it is perfectly possible to stop feeling overwhelmed or overstimulated by your empathic or psychic abilities, okay? Because I have worked with people who couldn't even go into places like Walmart because it felt like too much for them, but through taking them through the process of doing some inner work, resolving past trauma, making certain mindset shifts, etc., okay, they're now able to live a normal human life. But it took them stepping into their power and taking personal responsibility over their healing and resolving this stuff to finally be able to achieve that. These are just facts, people. And myself as a healer, like in the past, people used to overwhelm me with their energy. I would feel it in my body. And then I had to make certain shifts internally to no longer take that on more than was necessary or helpful to my client in the session, which is why I'm able to still work as a healer many years later. Now, for the empaths that were born with this openness or this permeability, this was done for several reasons. The guide said that your energy needed to be open in order to merge with your environment and those around you in certain ways that were necessary for certain events or things to unfold as they were meant to. But what they really wanted to highlight is that people who are born this way have such love and compassion for Earth and all of its creatures, including people, that they wanted to kind of feel at one with all of it. And now they must go on the journey of still feeling connected to it all, but also going on the journey of valuing, honoring, and embracing the individual's self. I got the feeling that these people really need to find out who they are in life. In order to create those better boundaries and no longer feel overwhelmed, these people need to go through a journey of self-discovery and also healing to embrace who they uniquely are. I hope that this has helped you. Drop your questions down below and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.